I was in New York City for client work. And one of my good friends that I've known for quite a bit, Manny Hoffman, who was the CEO of PTEX Group, I requested a meeting with him because I always wanted to meet him in person. He agreed to it because I was on his podcast a few months before that. And that's how we built a relationship. And I was at his office for 45 minutes. And I just remember him being probably one of the most genuine human beings I've met in my life. And as we were chomping down on some sushi, I just asked him, hey, what's the best piece of advice that you have for me, in my career, in my business? And he just said 4 letters, JVMM. And I looked at him and I said, what is that? He said, you don't have to know what it is, just join it. It'll change your life. And I didn't know at the time that JVMM even stood for Joint Venture Mastermind, but I'm super grateful that Manny introduced me to this incredible group of people, because my life has definitely been forever altered from being a part of this network. I probably invested at least $30,000 to $40,000 into different connection groups, at least in my career. I probably do 15 to 20 G's a year at this point. And JVMM was by far, like not even close, like by far the best investment I've ever made in my network, in my connection. The reason is very simple, is number one, the network is extremely curated. Since you're interviewing every single person who gets in the network and you ask really tough questions, my vetting process wasn't the easiest, I'll definitely put it that way. That in itself is actually a gift, because it ensures that everyone in the group is exceptional. So what happened is, the second I joined JVMM and I got admitted into the group, thankfully I passed the test, I realized why the vetting process was so selective. Because when I started sending emails to meet people, almost everyone said yes to a meeting. People they never met in their life, they just said, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. And almost every single call I've had with every JVMM member went really, really well. And I got so many nuggets of it. And I love what you said around it too, is, a lot of people, they spend $25,000, $30,000, $35,000. It's on one mastermind, but it's really hard for the person who's running that group to say no to that check if that person is not a fit. Whereas with JVMM, the priority is on the results for everyone in the group. And I think that's why you've been able to create such an incredible group of people. And I've definitely benefited some years. I mean, I could go on with the list. I mean, Joe Applebaum's incredible soul. He helped me improve my conversions on LinkedIn by like 5 to 10% with a 15-minute call, and he'd even charge me for it. And then you have people like Simon Severino's like the CEO of Strategy Sprints. I don't even know what he's doing in the group. He's like a multi-7-figure business owner, super fun to talk to. And he's always making time to
speak. We have a lot of those, actually.
Yeah, there's actually a bunch of those people. I think almost half of them, I think, I met. So yes, very, very incredible curated group of people dove in. And that's what happens when we focus on the same thing for a decade, like you have. It creates an incredible experience for people in the group.
Do you mind sharing, like, you don't have to mention names, but if you've spent obviously multiples of what you spent with us elsewhere, what kind of experiences did you have that were disappointing in contrast?
Yeah, Dove, absolutely. I would say the big thing with other connection groups that I've been a part of is a lot of it's really focused on the transaction. So let's say I go into a connection group just to make friends, really, because that's where real business is built, as you know, right? As reputation compounds over time, is people, pay to go into a group, but they're not really looking to meet people. They're always looking into what's in it for me, what's in it for me. And those are the people that I've never really wanted to build friendships with, because they don't end up succeeding in business long-term anyways. And I think what I realized in those experiences is I was wasting a lot of money, frankly, on different connections, even if I wasn't paying a lot for the groups, just because of the compound. There's so many connection groups that I've probably joined at this point. And I couldn't find the same level of quality. Whereas with JVMM, what I found that was extremely exceptional is the people that I was meeting the group, I was almost shocked. Like I couldn't believe for the price that you charge, which I think is ridiculous, by the way, for the experience that you're providing for people. I couldn't believe that this level of quality was in the group. Because usually when I meet those types of people, it's either because I guest on their podcast, which is not an opportunity that's available for most people. It's because of the credibility of my YouTube channel. That's how I met many. But for most people at that level, you probably have to shell out 20, 25K at the minimum to get into a mastermind group with these people. And maybe, man, this big word on maybe meet those types of people. And then maybe, even if those people have those criteria, they might not be generous people, right? So that's the criteria. It makes it a lot more challenging. Whereas I think it's really unique about JVMM is the mix of the quality of the individual that literally money can't buy, and the generosity of that level of person. So it's an even rarer group of people, and they all seem to be in the same secret society that is JVMM, and I'm super grateful to have a part of it as well.
I'm glad to have you. Appreciate it. I could charge you extra if you want. Like, whatever you're saving. Here, how about this? Whatever you're saving that you would have sent elsewhere, we'll split it 50-50.
There you go.
No, I remember now what I was thinking. I was gonna explain why I charge such a low fee. And that's because I just want good people to automatically renew every year. Like if you're joining JVM and you're the right person, I want you to be with us for 100 years. After 100 years, I don't care. It's not that I don't care. I just don't care as much. So, and I want every year that you're with us, I want you to be able to 100x your return. Because if you 100x your return every year, you'll definitely be with me. It'll be an absolutely easy renewal every year. And that's part of why it works, is because there's a stability of community. People sign up for a year at a time, at least. And you don't have people coming and going all the time. I don't allow people to try it. I had two people recently ask me, can I try a month or a call? And I said, no, sorry, we don't do that. And it took them a little by surprise. One person said, okay, then I'm not going to do it. And I said, okay, because I only want people who they come to me knowing they want to join. They saw my video, they heard from others in the group, and they know they want to join. And our conversation reinforces that. It doesn't make them question, oh, can I try it? Anybody who ends off that way, I just know that's fine. It's not for them. And it's little things like that I do in the way I run it that makes it work, because the right people know it's right for them. If we had people coming and trying, it would just really make a difference. It just, not for good. It doesn't build things, but by the fact that everybody there is committed, it makes a big difference. And anybody who's not sure if it's for them probably isn't for you. I never try to convince anyone to join, and I never try to convince anyone to stay. So that's why we have people who want to be there, and they get what we're doing, and they're helping create it all the time. So just, there we go. It started my ramble based on why we charge so little. I charge so little because it keeps great people coming back without having to question it. And then I could just focus on making it better and better with them rather than recruiting. 99.9% of the members have come from nomination of another member. So it's just an easy yes. And because I'm not looking to grow and scale, I don't need to build infrastructure. It's me, 1.5 people helping me. I hit my financial targets with it, and everything is good.
That's what I love and appreciate about what you stand for, especially when I watched that video the first time. I realized when I watched that video, I definitely wanted to join this group, because you had something that very little programs do, whether they're connection groups or even coaching program.
A lack of ambition.
Lack of ambition. I wouldn't say
right, that. I was going to summarize that. That's my competitive advantage, is a lack of ambition. I'm not looking to grow, so therefore I can do it differently in a way that works.
As the communication guy, let me use better wording for you. And what I would say is, you stand for something, right? I think that's really unique, is you actually stand for something. Like most people in this space, to be quite frank, they don't have a backbone. They just go, yeah, okay, well, if it's going to make me $5,000 today, might as well just say yes and not worry about the rest. Whereas you said, no, these are the values of the group, and I'm going to uphold these values regardless of what happens. And it was that very thing that made me go, I need to make sure I'm well prepared for this call. So after that video, I sent you a summary note. I was like, I really want to join this group. I made it super clear. And I really took that interview process super seriously to make sure that I would get in the group, because I realized it was for me, because I saw something in this group, and I'm glad I joined. Thank God many told me about it, or else I never would have found out about it. Is the idea of standing for something. And I think that thing alone is what makes JVMM really unique, regardless of the price.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It takes one to know one. I appreciate that you noticed that, and I'm happy to have you, and I'm glad that it's working out for you. Anything you want to just add?
Yeah, I think the one thing I would love to add is, for people who are, thinking or on the fence about JVMM, who are watching this video, let me tell you, from someone who has invested in literally 25, 30 connection groups, this is the place. Like, this is the group. Sure, there might be other high level groups that I might not be aware of, but based on my experience and my network of literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people that I've connected with, I literally talk to like 20 people a week. Dove Gordon is running the best connection group in the world based in my experience. And if you're not joining this, you'd be crazy not to.
Well, appreciate that. As long as they qualify, it's the
As
best
long as they
for
qualify.
certain types of people. Yes.
There you go.
That's right. No, it's true. We're, and as I said, I described earlier the kinds of people it's a really good fit for. So if anyone has any questions, they can reach out to me, dove@profitablерelationships.com, dov@profitablerelationships.com, or check out profitablerelationships.com/JVMM for the overview video we were talking about. Brenden, thank you. Appreciate you offering and sharing. Appreciate it very much.
Of course, my pleasure, Dove.